Hi, murder mystery friends. It's Sarah here. I'm looking a little bit of a mess. I'm kind of tired today, which is perfect because what I wanted to talk to you today has a lot to do with uh, energy and writing, and it's all about turning off your mom brain to switch onto your writer brain. I know not all of you are moms, but I'm a mom, so I can talk to you about how I switch from my domestic mom life brain to my writing brain. And yes, there is a difference. So in my daily life, I have a wonderful husband. I have two older kids. My one of mine just graduated high school. The other one is still in school. I have two dogs. One is a baby right now. It's 9 weeks old, I believe. So things are a little bit crazy at my house. And on top of all the normal everyday life things like doing dishes, making dinner, making sure your house functions and everybody in your house is at least kind of okay, you know, if they can be happy if they choose to be kind of thing. Um, I also homeschool my children and have from the very beginning. So that adds a whole new element of brain power that's dedicated to something else. And it's kind of compartmentalized. But for me, it's really hard for me to just section off my day into chunks. I know there's a lot of moms out there and even homeschool moms who use time blocks and all that kind of stuff to get specific things done. But for me, it's really hard for me just to time block homeschool, domestic life, and then writing life because they kind of merge at points, especially when I'm teaching my kids writing or when I'm doing a co-op class on writing. It's really hard for me to step away from all the mom duties and switch on my writer brain. But I'm going to give you, I think, 5 ways that I do it. And hopefully some of these tips will help you too if you suffer from mom brain not letting you get your writing in. And the first one I do is I psych myself up. Okay. And I do this starting early in the day. So when I'm talking about switching from mom brain to writer brain, I want to be clear. I'm not talking about coming out of burnout or forcing yourself to be creative when you just don't have the energy to do so. I'm talking about the days where my mind has been so much on my story, so much on my characters. I've had to purposely shove it aside to get through all my other duties and do them well. I have to shove them aside and really hardcore focus on things that need to get done around my house and for my family. I'm not talking about burnout. Please, burnout is a completely different issue. So I know I want to write. I know I've got the story in my head. I've got the creativity. I've got the energy, but I just can't switch from my mom domestic brain to my writing career brain. So I start early in the morning knowing I'm going to write. I start psyching myself up, and I do this in multiple ways, but my fail safe, this is how I do it, is I plug in earbuds or my headphones while I'm doing a mundane task. Nobody needs me. Like I said, I have older kids, so if my kids were still little, I wouldn't be plugging in earbuds and listening to podcasts, not knowing what they're getting into. My kids are older and are pretty self-sufficient. So also I do tell them, hey, I'm going to be on earbuds. You might not see them. If you need me, you might have to tap me on the shoulder because I might not know you're talking to me for a while. Anyway, but I listen to podcasts and usually they're on YouTube. I prefer my podcasts on YouTube opposed to just on Stitcher or something like that. Because if a host is making a specific point, I like to see their facial expressions. I don't know. That helps me tremendously. So I plug in my earbuds and I listen to a podcast that inspires me, something that gets me writing. There are many on YouTube that I love listening to, and they'll rotate depending on the need. So if I have a marketing need, the business part of my mom writer brain needs to be turned on, I will listen to something like self-publishing with Dale, or I'll listen to, many others. My brain is just, see, I've already got it. I've already got mom brain, and speaking brain is completely different than writing brain as well. But if I'm trying to get inspired and get myself psyched up to actually sit down and create, there are 2 podcasts that I go to, 3 podcasts that I go to relentlessly, and that would be Becca Syme's Quick Cast. That one helps me, like, allows myself to chill out and let myself calm down. Sometimes I get anxious, like anxiety, but it's a hyper anxiety. It's an excited anxiety. I'm so excited to get to this that everything stopping me from getting there right now is driving me literally crazy. And Becca Syme helps me calm down. The other one is the fiction technician. She talks about cozy mysteries and breaks down how to start plotting one and outlining one. And because I write cozies, it's really nice to hear somebody talking about red herrings or talk about plot twists. It helps me because I already have one sitting inside waiting to come out onto the page. So it helps pump me up and get me excited to write that later. And then one I go to over and over and over again is a channel on YouTube called Heart Breathings with Sarah Cannon. And most of her videos are amazing. There's nothing wrong with her videos, but the ones I go to the most often, the ones that I could pop on as I'm driving or sitting in line and listening to them, is her How to Plot a Novel series. I've listened to it so many times. I know what she's going to say. I know what book she's going to pull out. I can even picture in my mind the color her nail polish is or what ring she's wearing as she's filling out her plotting notebook. But for some reason, the way she discusses plotting, the way her accent, something about that whole playlist, I can just stick it on. Sometimes I'll even hit random and it won't even go in order because I've heard it so many times. And that gets me psyched up and ready to write later. And I do that all day long during my mundane tasks, like I told you, because you can never psych yourself up enough to sit down and write. That helps me tremendously. The next thing that I do is I hit reset. And I do this in many, many ways. I've had other writers talk to me about sometimes when they can't shift from this compartment of life to this, they'll do something like they'll go take a shower, they'll change their clothes, they'll blow out whatever candle they had lit and light a candle that gives off a scent that's only for writing. Those kind of things are great, but they do not work for me. There are two things I do pretty normally to hit reset when I sit down at my desk. Well, one of them is when I sit down at my desk, and this is going to be kind of weird, but something I do that takes like 5 minutes but calms me and kind of rewards me for sitting down at the desk to begin with is I paint my nails. And always here by my desk, like, these are not, obviously I've got this color on right now and it's coming off, but you can always find like nail polishes sitting by my desk. They're always here. The colors don't really matter to me. It's the actual action of doing it and calming down. It's kind of like an art project. I mean, I don't do anything fancy. They're just plain colors. It's like an art project that's not going to last forever. It's not going to consume all of my mental focus to paint my nails. And it's kind of funny for me because I have really stubby short nails. I don't take good care of them. They're always chipping. I'm really rough with like everything I do. Like I'm washing dishes, I'm just scrubbing. I don't take time to put on gloves half the time. I'm not nice with my nails, so I don't paint them to necessarily look pretty. But the whole sitting down and taking that moment to open the jar and paint my nails, I don't know, it helps me reset. It helps me shut down this part of my day and move on to my new part of my day. The other thing I do, which is going to sound completely counterproductive, is if I've psyched myself up, I want to write so bad. Like I want to write, but I cannot get my brain to cooperate. I will do something which seems like it wouldn't help at all, and I will take a nap. I set a timer. Sometimes I'll listen to ASMR. Sometimes I'll set like an ASMR. Some of them have alarms that go off for power naps. I'll take a nap. I don't go to bed because if I go to bed, I'll sleep like forever. But I'll plop down on my living room floor, on the couch, on a chair, and I'll take a nap and then when I wake up, it's almost like starting the day over again. And now this part of the day is just for writing. So that's how I hit reset. After I've done that, okay, if that's still not working, then that is not what I wanted to say right there. Hang on. I don't stage the scene as my thing says. I don't know why it says that. I'm all disappointed. And now I'm completely distracted because that is just how I am. Now I can't even remember what that one was. Biscuits. That's just how my life is. So you're looking at my mom brain buffering right now. I'm telling you, doing these videos is amazing. I love it. I love talking to everybody, but see, like I keep doing it. It takes a different part of my brain that I'm not used to using. So yeah, okay, we're just gonna go past that. So the next step, because I can't remember what step 3 was, it's written down here on a post-it somewhere because I take notes on everything. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, it's not set the stage. It is, let's see. Maybe I'll skip this on editing. I don't know. Maybe I'll let you guys see how dorky I am. Okay. I have no idea why I didn't say it. So number 3 is, let's see, is it going to show it? No. Number 3 is break out of your normal. Do something writing wise that isn't what you normally do. If you sit down and you're typing at a keyboard, that's how I write. Then if I need to get in the mood to write, I will grab, these are my favorite things here. I will grab Sharpies and sit down and actually manually write. Sometimes that wakes up my writer brain faster than putting my fingers on the keyboard. And it doesn't even have to be anything I'm going to keep. It could just be like a mind map of notes of things that I'm going to write when I get to my keyboard. This also works great if during the day I don't have time yet to sit on my keyboard. I know it's coming because more often than not, I'm unable to write until most of my family is asleep. So I'm up really late to write. But if I'm sitting down and I'm helping one of my students, one of my kids do their schoolwork, I can grab a Sharpie while they're doing math and an index card and just start mind mapping. And it gets me again in the mood and starts the creativity coming back into my brain for later. I can't really go full into the scene right now, but I can get some stuff out on the on an index card. Another thing that I find really helpful is doing the same thing, grabbing a pen, grabbing a pencil, but then writing on something that's weird, like on the back of junk mail, things that you know you're not going to really keep, that what you're writing doesn't really matter as far as going toward your story. It's just getting your words out. Doing something a little out of the ordinary that while you're writing is a great way to shake you out of your mom brain and get you back into your writing brain. I know people who will write entire chapters on like in a planner on like here's the the month grid. They'll write straight across the days of the week. That would just totally freak me out. I don't know why, but it helps them break out of the normal so that they can get back into their writing brain. And here comes tip 4, which you've already seen because I've clicked it a million times, and that is feed your muse. For lack of a better term, feed your creativity, nurture it a little bit. Sometimes you can do tips 1, 2, and 3 and be totally excited to write and still not be able to get the words from your brain to your fingertips or to your mouth if you're going to be using a device to text to speech. And so you feed your muse. Some people do this by binge watching a TV show. I cannot do that because if I binge watch a TV show, all I can think of is that TV show. So what I do is I will put on some sort of audiobook. Sometimes it's the podcasts from earlier, and sometimes it's an audiobook. It can be nonfiction. It can be fiction. It can be the genre I'm writing in. It could be totally different than the genre I'm writing in. Whatever I feel like at the moment, I'll put on an audiobook and I play Minecraft. Sometimes I'll play Sims, but more often than not, I'll play Minecraft. It even helps better if one of my kids is either listening to the story with me on the audio. Like I might be playing Minecraft and my daughter might be doing crafts while we're listening to the same audiobook, and we can talk to each other about the audiobook. Or sometimes on the rare occasions that my son will play Minecraft with me, we'll sit down and we'll play Minecraft together, and I'll be listening to an audiobook and he's kind of tuning it out. This relaxes me. It's like Minecraft is kind of, I'm not an expert in Minecraft at all. This is not what this is about. I constantly have to ask my son, how do you build this farm? How do you do this? How do you find this? But the mining in the mines, the digging, the building the houses, they feel kind of mindless. And so my imagination is free to go. And while my imagination is going this way, it's being fed this way by whatever audiobook I'm listening to. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but I can do both. I can do all that at the same time. I can be listening to an audiobook, absorbing it, playing a video game, talking to my kid, and mentally coming up with chapters at the same time. Maybe I'm weird. I kind of have a feeling a lot of writers are like this because most of my writing buddies have several stories going on in their head at the same time. So I'm kind of thinking we all have like a screw loose so that things connect rapidly for us. I don't know. Maybe something's wrong with me. But Minecraft and audiobooks, that is my go-to. That is what I even use it as a reward for a really good sprint session or writing session. Okay. So you've psyched yourself up. You've hit reset. You broke out of normal. You fed your muse, and you still are having trouble getting these words out. And again, this is not about burnout. This is you wanting to. You just can't switch off the mom brain, the relationship brain, the family brain in order to jump into this imaginary world that you are writing. And what I'll do next is I cling to accountability and community. I flipped him, I know. I am horrible at personal accountability. I might have to watch a Becca Syme, like I talked about from number 1, and see if maybe I can understand why I'm not any good at accountability. So for me, if I set myself a goal, especially a writing goal, and I have nobody to help me give me a deadline, I very rarely meet that deadline. Very, very rarely. And this goes for like all things in my life. So like dieting, exercises, healthy routines, saving money, any goal I set for myself that is just within myself and does not have an external pressure to it, I very rarely meet. And for a while, I used to feel really guilty about that. Like, I'm always letting myself down. Why am I doing that? I don't know why. I am just built that way. I have to have external pressure. In fact, I've just been completing a secret project, and I've had a coach coming alongside me while I've been doing this secret project. And I was able, at least for the most part, to reach all the goals he gave me because he gave me the goals. They weren't mine. He gave them to me, and they had a deadline. It worked even better if he could tell me, hey, I want you to do this, and I want it done in 2 weeks. I had that thing done in a week, and I was spending the second week making sure it was done well, exceptionally well, or as best as I could do it. But by myself, I cannot complete goals in a timely manner. Another example of this is I have won every NaNoWriMo I have taken on. I think I've won 5 in a row, 5 NaNoWriMos. So 50,000 words or more in the month of November. In fact, a lot of my books come from NaNoWriMos because I'm so in tune with the community. I'm in tune with the people sprinting on YouTube. I'm in tune with the people sprinting on Discord. I love it. It's so much fun. I'm having such a great time with the community, and the accountability is awesome. There is an external goal, 50,000 words. I meet that. Even if the last 3 days I'm like not sleeping. I meet it because it's not my goal. Now, Camp NaNoWriMo is something completely different because you set your own goal for Camp NaNoWriMo. It happens twice a year. So that means for every NaNoWriMo, I've signed up for 2 camps. And so that's 10, almost 10. This will be my 10th one coming up right now. And I have never, ever won Camp NaNoWriMo. And it could be a tiny goal. It could be 10,000 words. It could be editing. It can be plotting. I can't finish it because I do not have external accountability. And so I encourage you that if you're having trouble switching from mom brain to writer brain, to do all the steps, psych yourself up, hit reset, break out of normal, feed your muse, and then find some community and accountability. And this month, well, July, this upcoming month, I'm going to be participating in Camp NaNoWriMo again. And I'm going to be using you guys, my murder mystery friends, as my accountability and community partners. If you've ever wanted to write, you can join formally, or you can just do it on the side. I don't even think I'm going to join formally this year because it's just embarrassing to never, ever win a Camp NaNoWriMo. It doesn't matter how small the the word count is, or the goal is. But this year, what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to complete my first draft of my 7th Paranormal Penny mystery book. I already know the plot. I've already got it in my head. I've already got it mind mapped in other places. I've started it at some point. Excuse me. I've started it at some point, but I'm really going to scratch all that and start over again. And I want to get this done, the first draft done. Book 6, without giving away any spoilers, was on the higher end of emotional weightiness for the Cozy Mystery series. So book 7, I want to get into so that maybe I can relieve a little bit of that emotional pressure that might be lingering from book 6 so far. And I can't wait to write it. I've been dying to write book 7 since before I started writing book 1. So I think it's a good goal for me. And I'm hoping to get on here at least once a week and post some kind of vlog, which will be a new first for me as well, because I've never vlogged before, of me trying to do mom life and writing life and see if that happens. So you guys will be along for the ride, whether you're a writer and joining in with me writing, or you're a reader and want to see if I'm going to actually succeed in meeting this goal, or if I'm going to crash and burn. It's okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm too forgiving to myself. I don't know. But for me, it's all about external goals set by other people, which is weird because I'm kind of rebellious. Things to think about. So what do you do to turn off your mom brain and get into your writing brain? How do you switch from everyday life mode to writing creativity mode? Do you have any tips for me? How would you psych yourself up? What things do you do to reset? What kind of things do you do to break out of your normal? And I would love to know if you're going to join Camp NaNoWriMo, if you're going to be on here letting me know what you're writing. You can tell me in the comments what you're planning to write. We can be accountable to each other that way. We can cheer each other on that way. I don't know. I hope to see you lots in the month of July, and I hope you get your writing going. Until then, stay cozy, and God bless you. Bye.